Morning, everybody. We got day two TB coming on today. I haven't taken a look at it since about 5:30 this morning. I think I have all my Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to do light side first today. Um, but we should. Let's see. Yeah, we should be all right. We should be able to get through everything. Kung, I'm a, you know, during the school year, I get my stuff done right away because I know I'm not going to be able to stream it. But obviously today, I waited. I took my time because I was hoping that I'd be able to pop online, say hi to everybody, talk to everybody. Hey, Limestone, good morning. I like your term of endearment. I think that's my new thing now. Just hey, nerd. Good morning, nerd. So we're gonna get that done. I don't know if we're gonna do much else other than that today, just in the interest of time, in the interest of having other things that I need to get done. But we'll play it by ear. We'll see what's up. People want the egg, and the egg is here to abide, right? The egg is like the dude. Oh man. We had Duel of the Fates this morning. I got my R9 tier. I don't regret it. Very happy about it. Those extra 300 crystals are going to be a riveting addition to my crystal hoard. Oh, we're out. Okay. We are low. Da 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 da. Good morning, Tucson. Hey, Vash. Good morning. For those of you wondering what I'm doing here is I don't really need MK1 anymore, so I just buy anything just to be prepared, just in case. Just in case something happens, they throw a curveball at us. So I try to buy everything up to 1,000. You never know with CG. Got to add to the TB library today too. I have a lot. I'm very behind on that. Bit Dynasty dropped so much on us that I'm slowly making my way through it. But there is quite a bit. Let's start with Profundity because I hate this battle and I lose it more often than I win. Uh, yes, I mean, it's coffee. You should always. I don't understand if that was a question or not. You should always have coffee. Coffee is what makes us not angry in the morning. Coffee is what makes us feel good. As Danny Rojas would say, coffee is life. Some really fucking resistant TIE fighters. Oh, because you're going back. Listen, I'm not there yet, okay? I'm not mentally there with the Caucasian Cossack. I only saw it as a reference to the movie and did not see it as a reference to what you were drinking. I apologize. You happened to post that as I was sipping my coffee. I know what a fucking White Russian is. My wife. Egg, that's gonna get you canceled. give a shit. The real white Russians are the friends we made along the way. Which, in this case, is, I guess, actually accurate, right? Conk, I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but I've determined that my Steam account is older than you. And when I came to that realization, while you guys were talking, somebody was talking about Steam last night, it made me very sad. It's disgusting, is really what it is. I was like, God damn. Oh, you know what? I gotta check on Zepho. I did my Zepho mission. I passed it. I always do that off camera because I will be embarrassed if I lose. So just get rid of that, take care of that as quickly as I can. Good morning, Tucson. Lights go on and so I smile wide and say, okay, how we doing? Oh, okay, perfect, love it. I love waking up and Zepho is unlocked. Jedi, what is this? I need 2 light sides. All right, so we'll do Rebels here. If I can click the Rebel button. Fat ass fingers. Wait, no, I need R2-D2. What am I doing? Oh, man. You have some liberty in what you want to farm again? Because I feel like I do not. With all of this Ahsoka stuff coming up, I feel like very pigeonholed in. A guild member, a guild mate of mine asked me, he's like, oh, weren't you trying to get your entire roster relic by the end of the year? And I was like, yeah, but have you seen all of the content coming out? I need my materials for it. I took 2 of my Geos to G13 a few days ago, just on a whim, just because they're pilots, just because I have the materials. And even that felt wasteful. Sort of, Vash. If you go to .gg, and then you can click on what to Omicron next. I think it says what to Omicron next for your account. And it basically just looks at the Omicrons that you don't have, and it looks at the most applied Omicrons, and it kind of just tells you based on the most applied Omicrons what you're missing. And then you can always filter that out based on like, oh, I don't want TW Omicrons, or oh, I don't want Raid or TB Omicrons, or I don't want JC Omicrons, whatever it is that you don't want, you can always just ignore those ones. It's not a hard and fast rule to do that, but if you have no idea what to Omicron next, I tend to rely on the player base as a whole to say, oh, you know, people resonated with this one. And when I do reviews, I use that a little bit just to see if there's any missing from an account that are generally accepted to be like really, really good ones. Yeah, I mean, you and I are in a different place, Limestone. Obviously, I'm going to go for both. I'm not going to go for both in the way that Kunked is going to go for Ahsoka, so I'm not burning my horde to get them, but I will be, you know, doing refreshes to try and get them as efficiently and quickly as possible. So both of those things kind of together. and we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I don't. We don't have all of the information yet, right? So I don't really have much to say on it. I actually like to do this with Jedi Knight Luke lead, because for some reason, even though the speed limit does not work, this still works. Morning, months behind. That's how I feel. Not years behind like Limestone, but months behind. You didn't do anything, Kunked. I was just saying that you are going very hard on Ahsoka, which is correct. That is exactly what you're doing. Let he who is incorrect throw the first stone. I don't think I'm going to get them right away either. Usually I'm a few months behind because I don't, other than Jar Jar, I don't whale, right? So I'm kind of doing that soft whale. There are people in my guild who do the soft whale thing where they always buy characters from shipments even though they're free to play, and that's where they use pretty much all of their crystals. I don't do that either. I will not be shipment farming any of them. Balin Skull, I will probably get second time around, depending on if it's a 1 month cadence or whether it's a 3 month cadence. Ooh. That doesn't happen often. Especially in round 1. Interesting. While they do the work, I pretend I'm writing something, but I'm really far away. Oof. Okay. GMY really helps here, so I'm very annoyed that he is dead, because just having all of those extra turns feeds all of those extra turns back. He is a really good actor. It is unfortunate that he passed away, and that they have to recast the part. There are some lookalikes in Hollywood, but it remains to be seen, will they fully commit to the same character, or will they change it up a little bit? You know, kind of like, oh man, I really hate that I'm forgetting his name. Andy something, from Spartacus, when he, you know, unfortunately passed of leukemia. I feel like it's Andy W something. I know one of you knows. Don't look it up. I know somebody knows the answer to this question. Alright, let's see if I can do this without the GMY turns to help me out. Because those are so helpful here. I feel that, man. That's me. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible at remembering shit. Come on, guys. As a community here, we can't all collectively forget his name. It's Andy something. I agree with you. You know, you look at like when they had to recast Dumbledore, and everybody disliked it at first, but then, you know, perception changed. But obviously, that change can be scary in a kind of silly, it's a movie, it doesn't really matter kind of way. New Instinct, good morning. We were talking this morning. Ish. Talking ish. Talking adjacent. Helping me raise money for my PC. I very much appreciate that. You and who else is here? Kunt? Andy Whitfield. See, I knew it was a W. Thank you. Man, I never finished Spartacus. I watched Spartacus, and then I watched the prequel. I think it was called Blood and Sand. I did not watch after he passed away. It had nothing to do with the actor. I did hear that he did a really nice job. I just didn't have Showtime, and my buddy was, I'd go to his house to watch it, and he stopped watching it. Telling you, we're going to have that PC by the end of the summer. I think one more promotion, we're done. We never have to do it again. And I'm very excited about that. It'll make me very happy to not have to do. Well, we had fun. The game sucked, but we had fun. I enjoyed a couple particular scenes with Lucy Lawless in that show. There were a few of them. I have heard he did a really good job, and I saw that they're adding to it more. And I do kind of want to go back and watch it and watch the new one. The problem with me is that I want to try this because I've never done this before. But the problem with me is that I get such limited time, and my wife is a lot more picky about shows than I am. So a lot of the times, if I want to get through a show in a timely manner, I need to convince her to watch it too. And she's only convinced to watch something if TikTok tells her to watch something. So, no, we don't want a scoundrel. Let's do... I think we have a GL clause in Queen Amidala's kit, right? So, let's do Echo. Echo's only 5. Let's do Keller and Beck. Let's just fucking see what happens. What did I do this time, Kunked? So it depends. I don't know. Not everything has tracked correctly, Daniel. I have been keeping meticulous tracking of the promotion, and I've noticed some things haven't tracked correctly. And some of those things I can easily prove because people attach to their name to it and I get an activity log. And some of those things I can't easily approve. I can't easily prove. So right now, if I don't have to prove anything, as of today, it's $850, which is great. If I can prove everything and they accept everything, it'll be about $1,200, which is insane. Is it enough for what I need? It is not, but it is very close, right? So it takes a significant chunk out of it. Our plan for promotions is finish this one by Sunday, do one that is not a city builder next week so that we don't have to deal with city building. And then I think we're done. We never have to do it again. If we even do half as much, I can get myself a PC. I can get it all set up. We can be done. We can upgrade everything. It will be awesome. We'll be able to do more guest spots on the streams because I won't have to worry as much about the lag and the issues. So I am excited about that. My wife is very influenced by social media. Very, very influenced by social media. This is a point of contention, and I give her shit about this all the time. I can recommend a book to her, and I can say, oh, I read this book, it's really, really good. I think you'll really like it. And she'll say, no, I'll never read it. And then 4 weeks later, she'll be like, oh my God, I just watched this TikTok about this book. It's like, I heard it's really great, I really want to read it. And I'll look her dead ass in the eyes, and I'll be like, I read that a month ago, and I told you. I said to you it was a good book. You refused to read it. So that is my life. She also has her Discord friends. They just went to Disney. And she is heavily influenced by the recommendations that her Discord friends give to her. I wish that were not the case, but it is. I did convince her to watch The Last of Us at least, so I was able to watch The Last of Us pretty quickly. And she was away on a work trip for a week when Fallout came out, so I was able to watch Fallout. My GAC rating, we can look after this battle. We can find out. I fell into K3 at the beginning because of the squish. See, this looks iffy. It looks like it works-ish, but it's kind of iffy. I fell into K3 because I did really, really bad in threes. Just so terribly in threes. But I went 3-0 on my last fives bracket, so I'm back in K2 pretty comfortably. I haven't even looked at my opponent yet. I have no idea who it is. Yeah, that's my life, man. That's what I have to deal with when it comes to those things. If Cap could run my account all the time for GAC, that would be awesome. But it comes down to me not caring, right? Like, that's the nice thing about having a crystal hoard, is that I don't rely on the short-term crystals from GAC. Obviously, I want the crystals, but them being short-term gains does not matter as much to me. So losing a ton in threes is not a big deal when I know that I will make it up in fives. All right, let's see where my GAC rating is. I actually almost always do better in threes than in fives as well. I did not do better in threes than fives this time. I think the Datacrons this time just made it easy to break through those GL walls for people, which made it harder for me to compete. All right, so I'm 3382 right now. My opponent, War Lady Anna, 10 million, so about 1.4 million below me. 1, 2, 3. Only has 6 GLs. Does have Riva. Does seem to have GL counters. Right? Seems to really like the GAC Omicrons. Like, very heavy-handed. Interesting with the Grand Inquisitor Omicrons. Phasma for Captain Rex. Star Killer only one. That's interesting just based on what we've seen so far. So as much as this is a lower account for me, if I play this match the way that I normally play, it'll be a hard match. If I wanted to play it well, it seems like it would be a fairly easy matchup still. Let's see if there's anyone in my bracket that I recognize. Oh, not there. No, how do I find my bracket? No, damn it. I just did that. Event rewards. There we go. Holden Caulfield. Okay, well, there's an insult. Nobody I recognize. Let's get back to TB. I'll make it up. I'll get there. I hover between low K2 and high K2. Sometimes I've dropped into K3 twice. One time was because I forgot to join GAC for a week. Oops. And one time was now. But I've hovered into K1 as well. Honestly, I did not take Quadmade to R9, but I did take the Bros to R9. Because I already do 8 million in the raid. My guild needs me to do 5.3 million, so I do plenty. I was talking to Belloc, who's big on the raid server. He just did a Tales Off the Holotable episode with me. And he basically said it's not worth it to go to R8. It's either stay at R7 or go to R9. So I'm keeping her at R7. The Bros I have at R9 for Duel of the Fates, which happened this morning. And I need signal data. I need lots and lots of signal. I'm so behind on signal data. I just took Cat to R9. I just took Ezra to R9. I think I am caught up on Ahsoka requirements that are not new marquees. I'm pretty sure that I am. But then there's projects that I want to do, and I never get a chance to do the things that I want to do. I really wanted to do the Malakos team, even though I hate those games, but it's a great team. And I'm not one of those people that's not going to farm things that I don't like. Ezra is only R5. Yes, but when I tell you I am in such a signal data crunch, last week I could not take Ezra to R5. I did not even have enough to take him to R5. Cat is R9. And my Ezra was already at R2, because of course they picked the one Phoenix that I did not bring to R7 to be a requirement. Which I guess gives me an excuse to bring them up. Yeah, I really, Malakos is a team that I really, really wanted to do. That was going to be my after Gungans team. Hey, Beat, how's it going, man? Winding down the summer. I almost have to go back to work. It was going to be my after Gungans team, and now it's fallen to the weight side again. Right, let's just see. Let's see where I am on these. Journey guides. Galactic Legends. Am I caught up on not? Yeah, okay. So I am caught up on non-marquees. So that's good. At least there's that. Let's get Jabba the Butt in here. Yeah, why not? I did not. My Luthen is G12. I have no intention of bringing him to G13. And I want to tell you, here's the deal. I do TB. I try to find. I actually was joking on Fat Phil's Discord yesterday because one of his members asked him if he could do some TB videos for best teams per zone, and he tagged me and said, "Hey, Egnards is already doing this stuff, and he could do it way better than I do." And I joked with him that his job is to complain about the spending and to make his own community hate him, and that my job is to teach people to play as lazy as possible. So when it comes to Luthen, I've heard he's good with Mon Mothma. He does really well with Mon Mothma. He can beat GLs with Mon Mothma in GAC, which I don't particularly care that much about, at least not right now. Unless it's a really great defensive team, then maybe I'll consider it. I left him at G12. I asked Kazgul, who wrote a whole long post on Reddit talking about best teams for Luthen, and I said, hey man, if you can give me 3 concise reasons to take him to G13, I'll do it right now. And he was like, I wouldn't. So I didn't. There's just too much going on. And if you're a heavy GAC player, then maybe you'll benefit from his GL killing possibilities. I don't care. I'm actually really excited about Enoch because it'll be the first dark side TB Omicron that is for a thematic team. Right, so we have like the probe droid one that was kind of thrown in behind whenever, and nobody has probe droid at Relics unless it's a requirement for you. So I am interested in being able to use that team maybe on Haven class where the missions are really hard later on. Because TB Omicron saved me time, and I will literally do anything that'll save me time. Is it an expensive team? Well, who do you use on that team, though? Like, I literally know nothing about Luthen other than he is at G12 with no mods on him. I have literally no mods on him. You would use Mon Mothma, you'd use Luthen. I'm assuming you still use POW. Right, so where does the expense get in? Or is it because it's 3 Omicrons that you needed? Hondo. Okay. I want to try something. Let me see if I have the team for this. Hondo CM. Okay, so the way that Bit Dynasty did this is with Baby Cal. I don't have Baby Cal high enough though. But I think he submitted something else. Did he? Hondo. Oh no. Alright, well I don't have Baby Cal, so I can't do this cheap. Hey Scribe! How's it going? Welcome to the club! Dude. Night Sisters. Let's use Night Sisters, because fuck it. Kyle, C-Rex, Luth. Yeah, so you lose C-Rex on... You lose C-Rex with your Phoenix. I use my Phoenix pretty heavily. They're a fairly decent team for when you have no GLs to win with. When you have to try to full clear with all non-GL counters. Show me a man that can do that, and I will show you me. Sometimes. It depends on the RNG. Sometimes Treya can take out Reva. Sometimes she can. Yeah. I still call him Scribe. I don't know if I'm on the Scribble level yet. I think he still calls me Eggnards. I haven't heard him call me Egg or Eggy, so I feel like we're kind of the same in that regard. That's like the formal you in content creator language. Oh man. I mean, I don't really consider Mon Mothma or Kyle Katarn expensive. I mean, yeah, in terms of Kyrotech they are, but you need them. They're important characters for other farms, so they become just like cheap marquee characters. You heard me. That's right. If you're not going to use a pet name for me, I'm not going to use a pet name for you. Though I would like to think, and you don't have to correct me, you can just leave it there. Your latest video on R9JML and not doing it, in my headcanon, it is largely, you did that video specifically because of Wolf and I's 10-minute yelling match at each other. And I'd like to think you side with me. So don't correct me. We're good. I should really do Young Lando at some point. Let's see. What do we got left? No, not you. Sure. Yeah, fuck it. Let's try it. I have actually never seen The Kingsman, which is surprising since I see like every movie. I know half of you are going to unfollow me, but I saw Alien Romulus this weekend, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I have never seen the entirety of any of the Alien movies before Romulus this weekend. I had seen some of Alien. I was really young when those movies came out, so I didn't watch them when they first came out. I think I saw most of the fourth one where she's like a clone or something, but not the whole thing. But I do want to see them now because Romulus was pretty decent. The Kingsman, yeah, well. Yeah, man, and that's what I was trying to get my point across to Wolf, was that I do agree that JML is a great investment if that is a priority level of gameplay for you. Just like for me, I do not tell people to do TB Omicrons, but they save me so much time that they are a great investment for me, and I love them for that reason. Oh yeah, well, there's a few people who came from around where I grew up. Hayden Panettiere from Heroes, she went to school like 20 minutes from where I grew up. The Jonas Brothers grew up maybe 20 minutes from where I grew up. Okay, so you have Taron Egerton and I have the Jonas Brothers. Who's really winning here? Lady Gaga grew up, I think, about 20 to 30 minutes from where I grew up. I don't think there's anybody... Well, actually, there is somebody relevant. Not relevant anymore, but that was relevant for my hometown. But we'll ignore that one just because then I give away my hometown. Yeah, man, if you could put that in my wife's TikTok algorithms, that'd be great. I would love that. I would appreciate it quite a bit. But watching movies at home is just hard for us. I get so distracted. I'm on I'm on the Discord constantly trying to change things on the Discord, fix things, make them better. I'm constantly doing things for work. So it's really hard for me to watch movies at home. And that's a me problem more than a her problem, which is also why I like to go to the movies as often as possible. It's like my permission to wind down, my permission to stop, my permission to like turn off everything. If you do, yeah, I do want to see them. We had neither of us had seen any of the John Wick movies until the fourth one came out, and then we binged. All right, we binged all of them. Okay, I get to do this mission because I am an officer and I get to do what I want. Will I win it? No, probably not. Isn't that the case of all sequels, though? The sequels suck. The original is great, except Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is a fantastic film. Empire Strikes Back, arguably people love Empire Strikes Back. There's not that many sequels that are as good. The second 50 Shades of Grey was definitely better than the first 50 Shades of Grey. And I think the third one was actually the best of the three, quite honestly. How do you feel about Argyle? Because I feel like Argyle, which is one of the worst movies I've seen this year, I've never seen The Kingsman, but in spirit of seeing Kingsman trailers, I was like, this feels like The Kingsman, but bad. Like, quite honestly, one of the worst movies I've seen this year. Right up there with Night Swim and Borderlands. Yeah, well, that's good. Don't. It's terrible. It's just so beyond it. The movie doesn't even make sense. It's only worse than Borderlands because at least Borderlands makes sense. It just sucks. Well, then that makes sense because they both fucking sucked. And then there was a movie, I don't know if it came out, it was about a tailor, and like the mob came to the tailor's shop, and there's this whole thing. I hear that point. Suicide Squad, the second one was much better, but to that point, do we really consider the second Suicide Squad to be a second movie? Or do we consider it to be a reboot? Because I feel like it was heavy-handedly a reboot and trying to ignore that first one. Either way, the second Suicide Squad does it correctly, which is something that the first Suicide Squad does not do. It's awful. It's bad. We're going to I guess I can use Inquisitors, actually. Yeah, I consider it a reboot, personally, because that first one was god-awful. It was so bad, but when they redid it, when you got James Gunn in there, he did it right. And then the show that they did with John Cena on HBO was also really well done. By the way, while I have you all here, obviously Sunday, birthday brunch, start sometime around 8:30. I haven't fully decided what we have planned. We are going to have TB. I think I'll have the raid to do. I was looking into doing an Egnards themed Kahoot, but I don't know if I want to pay for Kahoot because I think you have to pay for a year of it, which I'm not shelling out $80 to do a quiz. And I've been talking to Meathead about giveaways, and that looks promising. I don't want to pester him too much, but it sounds like we might have a couple things to give away. We'll see what happens, though. I'm actually thinking of giving up Netflix now that they're going to make me pay the $17 a month and not grandfather me into the old plan I was on. We really only use it to watch Love is Blind and Gilmore Girls at this point. It's a sad day because I have been a Netflix subscriber, I think, since 2008. But I just do not use it or watch it anywhere near as much as I used to. They do have a free version of Kahoot for Class. All of the teachers in my school use it as well. But I typically get between 30 and 50 people showing up, and there's a limit to the amount of people. So I don't think I'll be able to use that very specific version that a lot of the teachers use. Because I was looking into it a few days ago. I thought it would be really fun. Limestone, I was paying $10 a month up until this upcoming month. They just emailed me. They just emailed me and said, hey, by the way, we're lowering you to the ad-supported plan because we're totally getting rid of this plan, which is like the $6.99 plan, but I'm not paying for an ad-supported plan. So it's either get rid of it or pay $17 a month. So I'd rather just get rid of it. We have a bunch of stuff. I don't use them all. We have Hulu Disney, the Hulu Disney thing. My wife is making us get the NFL Sunday ticket this year. Last year we just stole all of the games. Sorry, NFL, but we're paying for it this year, so you're fine. We pay for Discover. We pay for Peacock for whatever reason. We pay for whatever that other one is, the one with all the Disney, Nickelodeon shows, Paramount. And I'm just done. It's so much money that I don't want to pay. Streaming, so here's the thing about streaming, and this is the business part of it that people don't understand. I understand why they're raising prices. I get that. Streaming has been largely supported by investors. They're not making money off of the prices that they're charging, right? And now we're at a point where all of them want to start making money. And that makes sense. They want to start making money. But they can't all survive. And they can't all survive because nobody has that much money to pay for all of them anymore. So we're already starting to see some of them. There's a Sandy Cheeks SpongeBob movie that's on Netflix. Why is it not on Paramount? Because they're probably going to transition away from their own streaming service at some point. Disney and Hulu, they have a deal with Max now where all three of them are in the same bundle. Why is that the case? Because I don't think anyone is seeing the numbers that they want to see, and things are going to start shifting. We've done this rant before. I talk about this a lot. That is a sacrifice that I am willing to make. Yes, that is a sacrifice that I am willing to make. Yeah, here it's like 16 now. Well, that's the point. Is I think that it was so cheap, and that everyone's like, "Hey, we can do this," and then everyone started to doing it. And now that everyone wants to make money, there just is not enough money for everybody to make money. And with inflation being so high right now, with everything else, people are hurting. Um, and that sucks. Like my eggs cost fucking $6 now. They used to be $2, and that was 3 years ago. My wife and I, we've lived together for about 8 years now. And up until mid-COVID, so pre-COVID into mid-COVID, our average weekly grocery spend was about $80 to $100, and now we actually moved on to HelloFresh. HelloFresh, goodbye Spoil, because we actually did the math and we were like, wait a second, this is actually cheaper for us now. But before we moved on to HelloFresh, we were spending an average of $150 to $180 per week for the same exact groceries. It's insane. The cost, the rise and everything. I'm not going to talk politics on federal this or that or anything. I'm not educated enough to discuss that stuff. I just am going to suggest that people are frustrated. That's about as far as I am willing to suggest. This can go to 3. I don't give a shit. 3 stars. Confirm. Do this here. This can go to 3 stars. It literally doesn't matter. 3 stars. We'll open it up. We have, I think, plenty of deploy to go around here. Oh, ooh, hold on. Hold the phone. 152 million. We might have to reassess next month. Interesting. We might have to change our plan, because 152 million, we'll be able to do more battles there. We need about 8 here. We need about that much there. Interesting. Ooh, I don't like that. That means that I have to do math. People are frustrated. That's what I'll stick to, is people are frustrated, and I get why they are frustrated. 100%. I'm frustrated. I'm an educator. I don't make a ton of money. I'm frustrated. And I can imagine, being in smaller countries, being frustrated as well with the way that things are. And hopefully at some point things will get better. I will tell you right now, the one thing that I am so frustrated with is my wife and I bought a house last year. It's not a huge house, it is bigger than our apartment. I work 2 jobs. She works a corporate job. We make a decent amount of money together. We never would have been able to afford this relatively small house if not for my dad passing away and getting estate money. And even then, we could only afford a down payment. And 2, because of the way that interest rates work, if we were able to afford the house a year earlier, we would be paying a mortgage that is about 60% of what we're paying right now, right? So it hurts. My rent was half of what my mortgage is. Like it is very, very frustrating, where every month I send out the mortgage and I go, man, that's a lot of money. Like, this sucks. We can't live the lifestyle we lived in our apartment, where we were able to more often go out to eat or go to like shows more often or like do like silly things more often. It hurts. And I understand I'm in the first world, and I understand that I'm sitting here streaming, and that, you know, there are people way, way, way more affected than I am, and I do recognize and understand that completely and wholeheartedly. Let's see. Ba-da-da-da-da. I got my Omicron yesterday. I still see these guys. I don't even. Did I even put arrows on? I did put arrows. Okay, an arrow. I didn't put one on Enoch. I didn't put one on Morgan yet. Night Trooper. I don't think Luthen has one yet. I need to go through and do that. Fucking Malicos. Okay, what's the point of only the arrow? So I do the arrow because it's easier for me. So the arrow is just kind of like, I don't have to worry about it because it's a 30 speed arrow. So before I know what my, and because they're so plentiful, you know, I don't want to put super good mods on a team before I'm ready to use them because I might need those mods for something else. But the arrow is something I can always afford because I have 30 speed arrows to spare in every set possible. So I throw a 30 speed arrow on all of the new guys for their corresponding set. Preferably from the 4 set if a character needs a 4 set. And that also reminds me, makes it easier for me to look at and go, oh, this is how to mod them without having to look it up. Because it's already there. Yeah, it's just a quick convenience thing. It's not like some big brain scheme. It's so that when I go back and I look later, I have a good idea of what's going on with them. And I don't want to guess, you know, because when we go for Ahsoka, I might not be using those characters right away. So I don't want to give them mods that suggest that I'm going to use them right away, if that makes sense. Yeah, well, I know, Kong, you have your own reason, obviously, and we tried to avoid that subject when we chatted because I didn't want you to say anything that was counter to what you should be saying given your circumstance. No, see, I thought you were talking about something else, but that too, you know, even here in the States, I remember once a few years ago getting a fine that I had to pay, and even paying it online, I had to pay it in business hours. So like the website was only turned on during business hours, which was like, that defeats the purpose. It was so insane. Just ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. All right, so I told you guys that this was going to be a pretty quick one, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, I want to make sure that I have enough content for Sunday that we can have like a big birthday brunch, and it'll be a lot of fun. Somebody sent me a Jar Jar hat that I don't think I can get here in time, which is sad, so I'm just going to buy myself maybe some birthday hats. And it'll be kind of like a sad claptrap party because nobody will be in the room with me. But also, I've been making some changes to the Discord. So for those of you that either are or maybe not on the Discord, I've been making some changes in the vein of trying to tighten up the channels and have it be less channel intensive, while also giving all of the resources. So I've been working on that pretty diligently over the last couple of days. We're doing that with the spoiler channel. We're doing that with the creator channels. I'm actually thinking of doing something crazy even with the TB library and trying to shore that up into phase channels. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, but I want to be able to work on that a little. I do have to work on some actual work stuff today as well. The final point that I am going to leave you on, as a shill, and I'll happily say that, at the moment we are finishing up a sponsorship of a mobile game. I'm not even going to say the name here, I don't care. A lot of us have finished it already and met our goals, which means we can send and funnel resources to people very quickly. So if getting me like 20 bucks for an hour of your time is worth it, hit me up on Discord, because we're finishing that up in like 2-3 days. But with that said, I will probably be on tomorrow on Friday, most likely to do TB. Otherwise, Sunday, Meathead promised to hook me up with some stuff. We'll see. I don't want to go too crazy with that until I know exactly what's happening. But I hope you guys will all join me around 8 a.m. EST. Bring your mimosas, bring your drinks, bring your cocktails. That's what we do there. That's drinking on Sunday mornings, making bad decisions before I go out and I enjoy the rest of my birthday. With that said,